3 steps to a transformation. And this is any transformation, Kyle. I look back over the last decade of having those significant transformations, and the very first step in any one of them is awareness. And writing down exactly what the facts are today. You know, man, in 2012, I was 293 pounds, alcoholic, addictive sports gambler, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. $500,000 in debt. Buying things because I could afford payments. Making $150,000. Making money was not my problem. And so I had to think about all of those things. I was okay, and you can't change them all in the instant, right? But I had to become aware and cast no judgment on myself that, hey, I've done the best I can. It's okay to be where I am. It's not okay to stay here. And so that awareness will do 50% of the heavy lifting. And the awareness is just truly an accumulation of the decisions and the choices and the facts up until today. And the facts are truth, and the truth will set you free. So when you have that moment of clarity and just write down all of the stuff, I weigh this much, I have this much debt, this is the relationship I have with my spouse, this is how I talk to my kids, like whatever it is, I don't care what it is, I just want you to acknowledge it. And then we take it step by step. What's the next decision? Maybe it's, hey, I need to stop using credit cards. I'm going cash, right? I'm going debit card, right? Maybe I need to write down all of my household expenses. Maybe I need to write down everything that I'm eating. Maybe I need to, have that conversation with my spouse that says, hey, Melinda, we have an issue. I'm taking responsibility for it. However, this is what's happened in the last 30 days. We've made this, we've spent this. And take full responsibility, not you bought this, you bought this, you bought this. It's just what it is, man. Like it is what it is. We can't do anything about it other than like return things on Amazon. That's the only thing we can do.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just the same, Kyle, that if you're trying to lose weight and you don't plan your food and you go to In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A or whatever it is, and you don't put that stuff into MyFitnessPal before you eat it, dude, it's too late. You've already eaten the double-double.
Yeah.
Right? Too late. So that awareness around the facts of today and truly where you're spending your money today will help you. Like most people don't need coaching past that. They can figure it out that we're like, okay, whoa, coaching session done. Now you fix it.
I love that awareness, writing it down, like literally just giving you, it loses its power when you just acknowledge it, like shine the light on it, right? I mean, that's what you're talking about. Once we get past awareness, because I'm feeling, even some of that in any area of life, like just, hey, put down the facts, put down the truth. Where do we go from there?
You got to make a decision. My decision a decade ago, decade plus, like I was told, right, by my coach, he was a counselor, marriage counselor. I'm sitting on one side of the couch, Melinda's sitting on the other, crying and not mad at me. She wants her husband. She just wants Matt, right? She wants Matt to be around. She wants Matt to be present. I can't be present when, I have 16 Coors Lights on the golf course and I'm staying up until 11 o'clock to see if the Lakers cover, right? Or, whatever. If I just ate Burger King in the morning and McDonald's on the way home from the bar, like I'm not present, right? And so I was told I was going to be dead, divorced, in jail or broke within 12 months. If I didn't make a change, a decision. Now, I did not want to stop drinking. Bro, I loved, my beer and whatever shot was first up, right? And I loved drinking, playing golf. I loved drinking and gambling on the basketball. I didn't want to stop smoking. She could care less about that. But I could control what I put in my mouth.
Mm.
And I knew I needed to lose weight. Man, I was 293. I was Tommy Bahama double X, Adidas golf pants, size 42-30, right? I was a big boy. I didn't fit on the couch. That was my moment that it became real when I couldn't get comfortable sitting on a $5,000 sofa. I remember going into appointments, Kyle, and looking at the chair that didn't have the arms so I wouldn't, I could fit and I could be comfortable. And so that decision was the path of least resistance because I could control what I put in my body. So I started drinking a meal replacement shake instead of going to McDonald's day one. That's all I did. No working out, no program, no social media. Just, dude, drink this shake instead of going to Burger King or McDonald's. That's it. And as I started building up those victories, man, it was easier to stop drinking. But here's the thing that I think is so powerful is I didn't make a decision to stop drinking. It was just part of the process. And I would always show up to my coach, my counselor, every week, and he'd ask me how many days sober I was. And I was like, I'm 3. He's like, great job. But then the next Thursday, I wasn't 10. It was 3. And the next Thursday, it wasn't 10, it was 2. And he's like, are you going to do this or not? Because I can see you're getting smaller. And then I made a decision. I had one or two drinks, downtown Georgetown, waterfront. And I was driving home on 66. And I was so pissed that I just pissed away 6 days of sobriety. And I said, I'm never doing it again. I've never drank since. Decision. So then we go 2 more years, and it takes 2 years of sobriety, man, to realize we're $500,000 in debt. Now that's all of it, right? That's mortgage, student loans, IRS, all of it. And so we had to make another decision. And that's when I got plugged into Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University, because there's no better person on the planet to help you unpack, right, through the 7 baby steps. Now, which also led me into church, because we took Financial Peace University, which later that year, or later the next year, is when I accepted Jesus. So, those decisions, right, to pay off our debt, those decisions to accept Jesus, the decisions to stop drinking, the decisions to own my issues and have conversations with Melinda and encourage her to walk alongside of me, not drag. Although there are heel marks down Loudoun County Parkway from our house to the church, to Financial Peace University. They're still there. I was in DC, 3 weeks ago. I went out to see if those heel marks were still there, right? Still
yes.
there. So, sometimes we cut too close to the bone and we cut bone. I cut bone, right? However, looking back, it was one of the best decisions we've ever made. And so once you make that decision, then it all just becomes the step 3 is intentionality. I'm intentional with not drinking today. And I've been intentional every day for the last 11 plus years. And now I'm at a resort out of town, right? I'm at a convention with 2,000 people. And the thought of alcohol doesn't even come into my system, right? Right? Because I've been intentional for what is that, 4,000 days, right? I've been intentional not to use a credit card. I've been intentional to make sure I track or I think about what I eat before I eat it. I'm intentional. 90% of my coaching clients are women. I'm intentional on when I send them messages or follow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody grabs a hold of my phone and they see me texting, a female client at 8 p.m., it's one of the hardest things I've had to adjust when I moved to Vegas. It's 5:30, right? I'm sending messages and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, she's sitting, next to her husband and her coach is sending her a message at 9 p.m., right? When it comes through, right? So you have to be intentional with everything, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what helps the transformation happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to be intentional with every dollar, right? We have to be intentional with every dollar.
Yes. And, the cool thing is, and I know the listeners out there are a bunch of people that hear me say, the famous quote is, if you're not implementing, you're either here to get entertained right now, or you're here to implement what you're hearing. And so what you just said is one small step. That's all you took, was that tiny, tiny step. And then that led to a trail of wins, just a huge domino effect. Yeah. And you just kept stacking on the wins, and I also heard another theme there. You did put some people in your life. Huge. That was very important. That was key. And I think if you have some wins going on and some who's in your life, I just really think there's some powerful change that can happen. And for anybody that's listening to this, I mean, what we're here to talk about, you start creating debt. We're talking about the passive 25K vision. We're talking about creating the financial freedom you're chasing. It's just we're playing the defensive strategy of getting healthy first. Because if you're healthy, you can make this happen a lot faster than if you're going to be your own self-sabotage along the journey, man.
Yeah. And I think, in all like retrospect, Kyle, like I think getting healthy and taking on your debt, right, and increasing your income, or saying, hey, we make 80 grand a year, or spouse A makes, 80 grand and spouse B makes, self-employed. Maybe they're a real estate agent, maybe they're a business owner, an entrepreneur, right? And they make, $120, but it might be inconsistent, right? Is being offensive in that relationship with the money, and having like fierce conversations around it with each other, and say, hey, we're going to be offensive and get rid of this debt, right? You have to get so mad at it, right? You have to get so ticked off at this debt. And again, there's no judgment around the awareness, right? We've already done it, right? And we have to start paying off the debt, right? And so many people are like, I want to save money first. I want to get that emergency fund. No. I want you to get ferociously, Ramsey says it, gazelle intense, right? Around paying off that debt. And most people don't, because they're afraid to admit that they already spent the money on the car, on the college, right? On the credit card. They've already taken the vacation. Now they got to pay for it, right? So just admit, hey, I bought the car. Now I got to go pay it off.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can promise a paid for car will drive better when it's not dragging a payment book. Right?
Yeah.
The vacation is more fun when you don't bring the vacation home.
Oh man. So true there.
Yeah. Like,
and it is, this is the behavior change of like, it's just as your brain operates with the path of least resistance that's created. I mean, it can become a norm for a car payment.
It is.
Now, I know we had a conversation. When you get rid of a dang car payment, it seems simple. It seems justifiable. My low interest rate, man, that's a new that's a big win, and it takes takes a behavioral change to do that.
Most people won't realize they have a car payment until they don't have a car payment. Same thing with me with back issues. Like I've struggled with back issues for the last 5 years. I herniated a disc in 2018. I write down every day my number one goal, and I'm talking like $10 million net worth, $50,000 a month of passive income. The number one goal I have, period, is to wake up pain-free. Period.
Man.
And when I wake up and I make that first move and I make that second move and I'm like, we're going to have a good day today. And there's no pain. Or I know if there's something a little tight that I just know that 3 minutes on that lacrosse ball or that foam roller over there, like I have to take new luggage with me because I bring a foam roller on vacation.
Yes.
Right. So like, but that's the intentionality. That I know that if I do my stretches and foam roll every day, I know at 50, I'm 190 pain-free. I know that if I take $500 every Monday instead of being and being intentional with it, that's going to be $25,000 you can pay off a car in a year. And most people will take that $500 and it'll just bleed into the universe.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Because they're trying to save up and they're trying to do something else. When I'm like, hey, let's just build the habit of doing it every Monday, where maybe it's $25 or it's $50 or it's $500. Whatever it is, we're just going to do that. And that's just a bill we pay on Monday.
Yes. Yeah, you know, that's the cool thing, Matt. The dollar amounts don't matter with this stuff.
No.
It's not about the dollar amounts. It could be $5. It's about really key in on this. It might look like a mountain, but it's just the smallest step that's taken daily. And I just want to be such an encourager to people listening that inaction is your biggest fear with this stuff. You know, sometimes starting a passive income stream or all this stuff, you know, that's exciting to read that book or jump into that coursework or listen to that podcast. But man, for this stuff, it's just tiny little steps.